by previewing this year's NBA rookie class. First up, Jonathan, which rookies are most likely to become all-stars in the near future, in addition to Zion, that is?
I think Ja Morant, RJ Barrett, probably the next tier of guys after Zion. I mean, Zion is in a tier of his own. And then Darius Garland, I think, is also going to be in the mix there. Really small sample size. We only the 5 college games, but I do think that, had he played a full season of college, we'd be talking about him in that same breath as RJ and Ja Morant. After that, honestly, a lot of role players, not the best class from my perspective.
With Garland, because he didn't play so much in college, right? Like, I think he was kind of the great unknown coming into this. What leads you to believe that he can be an impact player?
Just watching him in high school, scouting him at the Adidas Eurocamp in Treviso, seeing him at USA basketball events, going to the Nike Hoop Summit practices, the McDonald's, the Jordan brand, watching him in AAU, all those different settings where he was an elite player in his feel for the game, his ability to shoot off the dribble, pick and roll. He's still growing into his frame. He's still a baby, and so I think and then the intangibles of being a son of an NBA player, I think helps him a lot. So I think he's going to be a really interesting guy to watch with Colin Sexton this year in Cleveland.
And I know you said that Zion is obviously in a class of his own. That being said, how soon do you envision him being able to be an All-Star? Is that going to happen this year, or are fans going to have to wait?
I'd be surprised if it happened this year, just because the West is so deep, especially at his position, and you just very rarely see rookies have the type of impact needed. And, he's got some good players on his team, too, so I don't think that they're going to really ask him to be, the number one scorer. I mean, they have Drew Holiday, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, J.J. Redick. I do think that they're going to bring him along a little bit slowly. I think we're going to see flashes of all-star potential, but I'm not sure it's going to happen for him in year one.
I want to get to Ja Morant, but a quick one on Zion. There was a lot of talk, obviously, about his physical, his weight, let's just call it, right? And his physique, certainly at Summer League. Even Coach K made comments about that. He thought that since he was on the trophy circuit, that maybe he shouldn't have played at Summer League. What do you think about what you saw at Summer League as far as his weight is concerned, his body?
That's what we've always seen from Zion. He's had wild weight fluctuations. I mean, you'll see him one week, and the next week he's 10 pounds heavier. And so that's something he's going to have to manage throughout his career. He has such a unique frame, and I do think that they wanted him to rest a little bit this summer. He only played a half of Summer League, and so I do think that takes you out of the competitive groove of being an NBA player. Working out every single day. I think he'll be fine once the regular season starts.
So with Ja, we've heard all sorts of crazy comps, right? We've heard De'Aaron Fox, we've heard Russell Westbrook, I've heard a combination of both. What is he?
Russell Fox.
Yeah, there you go.
I think De'Aaron Fox is a pretty good comp for him. I think athletically, they're definitely similar. Just in terms of the open court speed, the ability to play above the rim, changing speeds, passing with both hands. He's in a league of his own, honestly, physically, in this class of rookies after Zion. So, he's going to be a really exciting guy. Memphis is building a very, very exciting team.
I know that it's not a top 5 pick, but I just have to throw out, and I'm curious your opinion on this, Jonathan. I sort of see Rui Hachimura as potentially emerging as someone who could be a surprise all-star at some point because he has this huge Japanese fan base behind him, and we know that fan vote counts for quite a bit when we are voting in all-stars. Yeah. And so because of that, and because he has all of Japan behind him, and when you watch him go through games, there's this whole cheering section of fans holding up Japanese flags. You have this just huge media conglomerate from Japan. They are following him. And because of all that hype, no other rookie has that. Do you think that could potentially translate?
I think he's going to have the fan base. I don't know if he's going to have the production needed to push him over the top. His basketball IQ, I think, is going to have to improve substantially over what we saw in college. His three-point shooting, he was not a three-point shooter at all, really, in college. And so I think he has the physical tools, the dimensions, the athleticism, the aggressiveness. People compare him to like a Japanese Carmelo Anthony. That's kind of his game. And, is that really what you look for in 2019?
Right.
That's my question.
It's a great question
about Rui.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.